That night, the house was quiet, not the peaceful kind of quiet, the heavy kind, the kind that sits with you, watches you, waits for you to feel everything you've been holding back. Aaron had gone to bed hours ago, but I stayed, sitting in front of my laptop, the soft glow of the screen lighting up a version of me my family had never bothered to see. Folders, documents, accounts, proof, 15 years of my life, organized into files, 15 years of showing up, giving, building, supporting, without ever asking for recognition, not because I didn't want it, but because I thought love would come eventually. It's strange, isn't it? How we convince ourselves that if we just give a little more, try a little harder, stay a little quieter, one day someone will finally turn around and say, "I see you now." I used to believe that. I don't anymore. My phone buzzed, then again and again. Messages flooded in. My mother, my brother, my sister, even numbers I hadn't seen in years. But I didn't open them, not yet, because for the first time in a long time, their urgency didn't feel like importance, it felt like consequence. Then a voicemail came through. My father. I stared at the screen for a long moment before pressing play. Leah. His voice was different, not commanding, not certain, unsteady. "What have you done? Call me. We need to talk." I let the message end, then I replayed it, not because I needed to hear it again, but because I needed to understand something. For years, I had been the one asking to talk, asking to be heard, asking for a conversation that never came. And now, he needed one. I didn't call back. Instead, I leaned back in my chair, closed my eyes, and for the first time that day, I let myself feel it. Not anger, not even sadness. Relief. Because the silence I had carried for so long was no longer mine. The next morning, the sun came in gently through the window, soft, almost kind. I made coffee, sat at the kitchen table, opened my laptop, and then I pressed send. It was just one click. That's all it took. But behind that one click was everything. Asset controls updated, access revoked, accounts restructured, authorities reassigned, not destroyed, not attacked, reclaimed. And because this was never about tearing anyone down, it was about no longer holding myself down for their comfort. My phone rang. This time, I answered. "Leah." My mother's voice rushed through the line. "Your father, he's not well. He didn't sleep. He's under a lot of stress. You need to fix this." I stayed quiet for a moment, not because I didn't have something to say, but because I wanted to choose the right truth. "Mom," I said gently, "when I was under stress, when I couldn't sleep, when I felt like I didn't belong in my own family." I paused. "Did anyone ask me to fix it?" Silence. "You're being difficult," she said finally. I smiled faintly, because that word had followed me my entire life. Difficult, too emotional, too independent, too much. And yet, somehow, never enough. "I'm not being difficult," I said calmly. "I'm being clear." And then I hung up. That afternoon, there was a knock at the gate. I didn't need to check the camera to know who it was. But I did anyway. My sister, still wearing yesterday's dress. Makeup faded, hair undone. She looked smaller, not physically, but emotionally, like something inside her had shifted, and she didn't know how to hold it together anymore. I pressed the intercom. Yes? Leah, please, she said, voice trembling. Can I come in? I hesitated, not because I was afraid, but because I was deciding. Then I opened the gate. She walked in slowly, carefully, like she wasn't sure if she still belonged here. And for the first time in years, I saw her without the confidence she used to wear like armor. We sat across from each other in the living room. No tension, no performance, just truth. I didn't know, she said quietly. I studied her face, not looking for guilt, not looking for lies, just understanding. Didn't know what? I asked. That it was you, she whispered, that everything, all of it, came from you. I nodded slowly. Dad told us you had nothing, she continued, that you chose a different path, that you didn't want to be part of the family legacy. A soft breath escaped me, not quite a laugh, not quite pain, something in between. He told me you were the future, I said. She looked up, confused. And I believed him, I added gently. The room went quiet again. I was jealous of you, she admitted after a while. That caught me off guard. You always seemed so sure, she said, so confident, like you didn't need any of this. I leaned back slightly, thinking. I wasn't sure, I said finally. I was just used to figuring things out on my own. She looked down at her hands. We're losing the house, she said softly. I didn't respond immediately because that sentence wasn't just about a house. It was about security, identity, comfort. All the things I had quietly provided without ever being acknowledged. I didn't take anything that wasn't mine, I said calmly. I just stopped pretending it belonged to someone else. She nodded, slowly. I'm sorry, she whispered. And for the first time, it didn't feel like an empty apology, but still, I didn't move, didn't soften, didn't rush to fix it. Because growth isn't about returning to what hurt you. It's about understanding it and choosing differently. That evening, after she left, I sat alone again. But this time, the silence felt different. Not heavy, not painful, peaceful, because something inside me had shifted. I wasn't waiting anymore, not for approval, not for validation, not for someone to finally say I mattered. I already knew. And once you know that, everything changes. Soft pause. But the truth is, that was only the beginning. Because the next day, my brother showed up. And he wasn't there to apologize. He was there to fight.